Alright, so we're going to hop straight into it, and as you see here, I have the input shaft up on the bench. I went out and got a gear puller. Does it have info? Where's the info here? Got this gear puller from Autozone. It's a long, you're going to need a long one. 2/3 jaw, it's a 5-ton puller, and I pulled out my heavy duty 1/2-inch impact. And before you do any of this, you have to take off this retaining clip here that locks in down here. It'll be like, there's like a little slot right here. Zoom in, like a little slot right here that you got to pull this clip out. Now, if you want to do this with ease, you need to go and get one of these specialized snap ring pliers, and I'll link this where I got it in the description. So you'll need that. You'll need this special tool, or it's a gear, like I said, it's a jaw or gear puller. You can pick it up, AutoZone, Amazon, wherever. Just make sure it's a long one, because you need to be able to reach these gears. And once you do that, you'll see that I'm going to back it off, and the gear should come off, just like so. All right, so once you get the, I guess that's the reverse idler gear, connect out of the way, then you have access to the inner gears, and these will just slide right off. And I want to keep everything together, even the synchro. Just slide off with the roller bearings. These all sit on roller bearings. So slide these off together and we'll inspect them. All right, so with these slid off, as you can see, you have the rolling bearings inside, and they have a little slit in them to lock them in on both ends. Let me see if I can pull it out to show you. They fit together. Oh, sorry. They fit together on this back end where my thumb is, and you can separate it like I'm doing now. And you can go ahead and replace these if you want to, but I might do that because they are a wear item. But yeah, that's it. So it's gonna sit just like this. Let's see here. Another set. Oh. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so after that failure, on this portion of the spline, you have these little indentations here where this little plate here will fit into the slot, like so, and a little ball, so it'll fit into the slot like that, and there'll be a little ball that fits in there. So you're gonna make sure you put those back. Okay, so we're up to our second snap ring, and you can see it right here. You rotate it. Come on. There we go. Okay, so a second snap ring is right here. You're gonna want to get that off with the tool, and then you can slide this down and off. All right, so with that snap ring removed and placed in its area, we should be able just to slide this off the spline. And you see how it has these roller bearings here? Those should go back on when you go to put this on. Every gear, as I've read, should be on a roller bearing. So I'm gonna put these all together. Then I should be able to show you what I was talking about earlier about these roller bearings. So they're held in, they're clipped in together, which is pretty cool. So all you do to get them off is you just separate the pieces. or you just take it off. Very carefully, just like so. Very carefully get it off. All right, so that's it. Honestly, you got to pull this gear off, and then this gear and synchro and selector all slide off, and then you have another snap ring which goes right here, and then you pull off that gear synchro and the roller bearing that fits right here, and you're good to go. That's it for the input shaft. Obviously, you're going to need to put your roller bearing back on and take the roller bearing off here. Okay, so I got the new input shaft ready to go. I'm going to put down some paper to, don't want it to get damaged or anything. So what are we going to do? First and foremost, I'm going to take a little bit of assembly lube, and I'm going to lube down the areas of where the roller bearings are going to sit. And I guess we're going to go ahead and clean it off real good, and I'll be right back. Alright, so take the assembly lube. Just going to throw a little bit on here for the roller bearing that's going to spline or sit right here. Alright, so I'm going to take that now, this roller bearing, and just go to the bottom and roll it right on up into slot, just like so. All right, now take that whole gear cluster that we had, this whole gear cluster, and we will slide this through. And be careful to remove any debris or anything that's there. You're gonna have to line this up with the splines so that it goes on. Just like that. So it all lines up with the splines here. And if it doesn't, it won't slide on. So make sure you have it lined up with the splines, okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is add that snap ring back on. This was, let me see if these are different sizes. These are. So you want to make sure you get the correct size. For the inner portion here, you need the larger snap ring, and when you put them side by side, you can tell the difference. You're going to need this snap ring for this portion. Let me get this on. And where's the tool? See, how are we going to do this? It just goes. There we go. Well, now, with that done, we can put back the ball bearings that were here. Let's go ahead and do that. I think these are like weights or something. And so just drop it in the slot here. Okay, so we had to back up. So I wish I could tell you that this part is really simple to do, but it is not. And if you look, let me see if I can, let me clean off the cameraman real quick. Sorry about that. So if you look in here, turn on the flash, you see those springs right there? So those are important for the selector fork to be able to spring back when it's moving up or down. So for these springs, when I was sliding it off and it fell out, I didn't know that those springs were important to this whole mechanism, but I figured it out when I was trying to slide everything back on and it wasn't working. So what you have to do is you have to slide this selector mechanism on a little bit of the way, put the plate on, put the spring in the hole, and put a ball in on top, right? And you touch one of the little teeth here on the top here. One of those little teeth sit right on top of the ball and hold it while you get the other two in, and then you push it on, and then it'll snap in place like so. That was very tedious, but I got it done. So just make sure you remember that those springs, spring in, plate, ball on top, and this selector ring fits over those balls into a little slot on the inside of the selector ring, and you'll see what I'm talking about when you take it apart. Anyway, let's continue. We'll take this portion. I think this is like the selector, the gear selector. This portion will go on. This portion needs a roller bearing. So take this, sprinkle a little love on it, roll it around. Just like so. Then we'll slide this on. And if I didn't mention it, this piece that one of my pieces fell out. Let's get that back right real quick. Okay, so this piece here is supposed to slide over that metal piece with the plates and balls in it. So just make sure you get that right. And this slides into place like that, and it locks that ball and joint in place. All right, so next we have the synchro that's going to go on. It fits into place here, just like that. And then we have the gear. We have the gear roller bearing. We don't want to break this. Again, we're going to put some lube on it. Lube it up. Nice like. We're going to slide this roller bearing over on top. Just like so. Give it a couple little spins so it's fine. Then we'll stick our gear in. All right, slide this on top of the roller bearing and into place. So that's that. And for this one, being the final or the reverse gear extender, I don't, if you know what they actually call it, let me know. But I think this one drives the reverse idler gear at the bottom of the case. This one slides on, and you have to press it on, if I remember correctly. You have to pull it on with the gear puller or presser, but that's essentially how you do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You have to get this gear pressed on, and then you will put back on the C-clamp or snap ring, excuse me, and you'll be good to go. Over here, in case you've been wondering, the engine is ready to go. It's all bolted back together. It has compression, which is great, but we want to see if it actually fires up and I'm working through that right now. This is part of the component that's going to help it start up. The second thing that I'm working on over here is the clutch, and I'm waiting for the inner clutch piece for this, or the secondary clutch piece for this, the one that I broke. So with all that said, this is ready to go, and I'm excited because, like I said, it has compression, and I'm ready to see what it does. But it'll be a couple of more weeks before all that stuff gets here, and I can start throwing all this back together, and we can go out, refit it, and test it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I will be back in a few weeks with more content for season 2, but I have some news for season 3 coming out soon. So check back with me, support your boy on the channel, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. You know, and if you have someone else that needs some focused stuff or some education, send them my way, or someone else's way that, you know, has some kind of mechanic know-how. I just happen to like the Ford Focus, and you'll see the testament to that in season 3. Well, with that said, focused hands, signing off. Peace.